Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of Valpo Football Weekly. It's brought to you by our friends at Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute. Brandon Vickery with you. Glad to be joined by the head coach of the Valpo football program, Landon Fox, as we look back at week one at Youngstown State. And Coach, now that you've had a chance to look back at the film, what comes to mind in terms of what you want to improve on in terms of what happened in that third quarter?
Yeah, I felt no differently now than I did after the game. And to me, it's we have to do a better job of paying attention to the details. And the reality is, they're a good football team, but we didn't make them earn it at times. When you turn the ball over, get a punt blocked, you muff a kickoff return, and when you do those things against a good team, you're going to struggle to be competitive and win football games. And so that was a frustrating part for us and the team, is just, I'm not sure we made them earn it. We kind of, gave it away at times.
As we think about that first half, I know it was tough when I talked to you moments after the game, but now that you've had some time to process, there were some encouraging signs. What stood out to you about what you liked in the first half?
Well, I'll tell you what I didn't like as well, is that, the fact that we didn't score from the 1 yard line. You have an opportunity to go into halftime really tied. If you score that touchdown, but you have to be able to punch it in from the 1 yard line. And the reality is, in that play, we didn't pay attention to detail. We missed a block that quite frankly, I think our guys understand and know, and you got to execute. So that was a frustrating part. I think from, the offensive perspective, the ability to go down there at the end of the half, that was encouraging. Obviously give us a lot of momentum going into the second half. So that drive was big. I thought the offense did a really, really nice job there at the end of the half.
Yeah, to follow up on that drive, tell me about the Apple to Davis 53-yard catch. What stood out to you on that play?
Yeah, that was a game plan thing where they brought, they're in a cover 2/corner crash, and Solomon Davis, read the coverage, and Mikey saw him, and they certainly, you talk about it, and I'm hounded on how poor we executed at times, but that was as good execution as you could have on a play, and those two guys understanding, and obviously the line protecting, but that was really good execution on the part of the offense.
Talk about Solomon Davis, who's a returning member of that receiving core, but two new members that made some plays, Moise Tezo, Brandon Jimenez. Maybe, what do those two bring to the table, and your thoughts on the way they play in their Valpo debuts?
Yeah, we were encouraged, throughout the summer and into fall camp with those two young men, and they showed flashes during that time. So it was not necessarily surprising for us to see those guys as productive as they were. Obviously, we're excited moving forward, but they'll know too. They're going to watch the film, and Brandon had what I thought was a very good game. But he's going to look at some things that he can clean up and continues to improve, and that's just who he is. Both those guys, even though they've played a lot of football, they're older guys. They come every day. They're trying to make themselves a better player, which is really encouraging.
You beat Indiana Wesleyan in an exciting game a year ago. They went on to win 11 straight and go to the national semifinals. What can you tell us about the program that you're playing this week?
Yeah, it's an outstanding program, in terms of you watch them on film, over the last 2 years. We went over there in 21. They had a really good team, and you watch the tape. They're as talented as anybody at that level, in the NAIA level, and they're very well supported through administration, through the university, which has allowed them to have success. And it will be challenging. They have a good football team in terms of both offensively and defensively. And I've told the players, this one's marked on their calendar. You're crazy if you don't think that, this is the one team that beat them all last year, in the regular season. So they'll be ready to play. That's for sure.
There he is, the head coach of the Valpo football program, Landon Fox. The game kicks off at 5 o'clock Central Time on Saturday, 6 o'clock Eastern in Marion. It'll air on ESPN+. We'll talk to you again next week on Valpo Football Weekly, brought to you by Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute.